wicked cool. It's like a fairy cave. Fairy lair. Let's hope there's not a raccoon in here. That'd be my luck. Check out all these tree breaks and tree bends right here in front of me, which could have been caused naturally, but I mean I came over here because I was drawn to that sugar maple for some reason. And look right here, you got two breaks going in different directions, right? One goes this direction, one goes that. Then you got a bend that's held down by that break. Normally I wouldn't even look at the stuff. Oh, it's just natural stuff. Right. But now I'm looking around here going, okay, how much of this stuff is natural? How much have they bent over?
Right.
That's
those
like
are young trees too. Those aren't very old.
Yeah, and they're still. You can see that they weren't like dead because they sprouted new growth.
Right.
So those were.
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
Healthy trees when they were broken. I mean, the tops have decayed, but the bottoms have rejuvenated, which tells me that those trees weren't. So I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now what we should do is from this location try to look around and see if we can see other
Close.
Well, like I'm looking up ahead and there's another tree bent over up there. We could go up to that one and then see if we find another one. Well, they seem to link them together. They don't just do, like if it's something they've created, they don't just do one of them. They'll do a string of them across the landscape, like they're geomancing the landscape. I found a little toad. Bufo americanus, that's just Latin. You paying attention there, Ryan?
Yep, I am.
There'll be an exam at the end of the day. He thinks I'm kidding. Oh, where'd he go? There he goes. Ta-da-da! Ah, he's moving out. Now people talk about things being cryptic. See, a toad is cryptic because it looks like a pile of leaves. I mean, the strange thing is, I know there hasn't been any machinery in here. Like it's been 30 years. Does that look like a pile of dirt that's been there for 30 years? I mean, there'd be stuff growing in it. Wouldn't that be something? I don't subscribe to that theory, but I'm sure there'll be some people watching this, they're like, you need to go back and excavate it. Yeah, that tree's definitely been manipulated. I filmed one a couple months, or like a month or so ago when I was up here, that went up and down, and like it was pretty much like this one is, except that it had like that suspended in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, something definitely. That's a beech tree, still growing, but something broke that and bent that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that'd be natural at all.
It's awfully high for a moose. I mean, I can't even reach it, and I can reach like 8 feet. That's got to be up there 9 feet. Yeah.
6'3", and this is as far as I could reach.
Yeah, you can't reach it either. Come on, Blue. Good job. That's a good dog. That's a good boy. Good girl. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Blue's too smart. He says, I'm too smart for your commands.
I'll wait up here, so I don't have to
Yeah,
look it twice.
because I know that's where you're going, Dad. All right, so I've gone to the rock. Now I look way up there, and I see another. Well, I see that one too, but that's not the one I'm really looking at. I'm looking at. That one right there. You know, that's the thing about following those tree leans, though. You could make the argument, well, I followed these tree leans and then I ran into Sasquatch activity, but the thing is, you could actually follow tree that were natural and still encounter Sasquatch activity, because that would lead you in deep into a spot where nobody's gone, which is where they're all over the place in there. Saying that I followed a string of things that led me to Sasquatch assumes that they're localized and not broad-based in the habitat, right? And I don't think that's the case. I think especially if you get off the beaten track at all, you're just in a... Although I can't really establish that today.
Coming into the living room.
Yeah, exactly. Probably can't see it, but Flash is walking right on it. There's a soft paw, soft foot track here. Like moose aren't using it, but something sure to hell is. I would guess bear, but it's weird. I've set trail cameras on paths just like this and got like basically nothing. No bears, no nothing, and I know something's making the path. And look, there's the giant rock. For some reason, I think terrain features that stand out like this are somehow connected to these things. Wow, it's a huge rock. Oh wow, it's got like a den. It does have a den. There's a den over here. Either that or it's where they stashed... Hey, get out of there! It's where they stashed the baby Sasquatches. Flash, no, Flash! Come on out of there. You don't know what's in there. Look at that. It's a den, animal den. Blue, come on out of there. Be an awful little bear. But it could be a bunch of other things. Bunch of other things I don't want the dog tangling with in case it's in there.
I don't want to see the eyes of the damn zombie. A zombie in here hanging out. Some roots. Yeah, I don't think anybody's home because of all the leaves on the floor.
So far we've been led, or we've walked up on an epic rock. Monster rock. It also has a den of some critter. Probably a cougar, a mountain lion den under it. Here's another rock, very interesting rock. Laid in a little hollow concave spot there. Look how steep it is here. Yeah. Really getting steep. At eye level, I'm now looking out at the tops of trees. You know, it's weird, but there's kind of like a path, a trail of, I mean, they've sunk in, but there's a whole rivet of, like a river of rocks here. There's not that many stones on either side of it. Look, these are like all connected together right here. Isn't that kind of interesting?
Yeah, it is.
And you can see down through there, down all the way, keep going. There's none over here. I mean, there's one, but they're not all connected together like that.
What its purpose was at one point.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out whether they're natural or whether they're constructed. So maybe it's just me, but hasn't it gotten like 10 degrees spookier in here all of a sudden?
Yeah, no birds.
Like, we've actually got to go that direction to get out, and I was like, you know what, I think I'll just follow this road. I don't want to go over in there. Although we might have to, because this road is parallel in the road we want to go on. We're going to have to. We have to go into the spooky forest. And abandon the road. You know what they always say in the fairy tales, never leave the road. That's what we just did, we just left the road. And look, there's a couple more in it. Same deal. Wow. Oh, those are awesome. Rocks all over the place in here. I don't know, maybe it's just me that finds that strange. It's like you'll go through here, you'll walk through places where there aren't any rocks. And then look, there's a whole, like a whole boulder of quartz. It's a great big quartz rock. Look at that. Placed right in the center of this, whatever this thing is. I can't imagine why somebody would build a stone wall up the side of this mountain. And it doesn't even look like a stone wall. It's like scattered rocks. They kind of seem to be in a line, don't they?
Yeah.
There's another one up there.
Seems like water ran down here at one time.
Yeah, but it's weird because these are higher than the surrounding landscape. It's like there's not a ditch here.
Yeah, that's true.
This isn't from runoff, but yet there's a steady pile. I mean, a lot of them are covered in vegetation, but you can walk right along and follow these rocks. There's rocks all over the place as if a ancient civilization has fallen. Of course, they don't look like building blocks, but there sure is a lot of rocks in here. Look at this. Or at least where we're walking, there's a lot of rocks. And it's weird because they look like they're in a state of being buried by debris. So when were they put on the surface of the ground? Well, this thing up here looks kind of interesting. It looks like that the end log is balanced on that stump. That's kind of weird. So we found this by following random or not so random tree things and strange piles of rocks. Look at that. It's balanced perfectly. Huh. I know, it has a feeling of being somewhat contrived, and look at this right here. I mean, this was like set in there. I mean, obviously it broke here, but what are the odds that that would break and not fall to the ground? Makes a perfect right angle, straight level. I found another one like this. They seem to, I mean, it's not perfectly level on this end, but it's pretty darn close to it. And I mean, look how this, okay, so you've got this tree here that's growing here. This goes around it, behind it, and then weaves itself into the back side of that birch. So it goes between that fir and that birch. Yet somehow in the course of going around like that, weaving around it, man, I mean, that almost strains your imagination as how that could happen.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know, 3 or 4 small trees right there.
I mean, it'd be easy enough to look at that and go, well, it's just natural, but I don't know, man. It doesn't.
I don't know either.
Doesn't look natural to me. This almost looks like one of those wallow areas. Look at all the debris on the ground. I mean, we've just come from having almost no debris on the ground, right?
Yeah. No,
Look at the amount of branches. Shit is broken everywhere in here.
it doesn't look cut. It looks broke.
Yeah, it either fell or it broke. No, it wasn't cut. Huh. We've got to be at 2,000 feet now, I would think.
Yeah, we have to be.
Well, we don't have to be, but,
Well,
but I think
we're
we
close.
probably are. Well, that was a little weird. Maybe I just saw a moth or something, but I thought I saw something move right there, but I couldn't make out whether it was me seeing shit I suppose the best thing to do is go over there and investigate. Except that that thing we just looked at looked almost too coincidental to happen by accident, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things where, like, if I didn't absolutely know that Sasquatch was real, I would probably find a more reasonable explanation,
Right.
which I know isn't very scientific, but it's just that those seem to be the kind of things that they do. They do things that pretty closely mimic what nature does. I mean, most of the time. Sometimes it'll be a little different. Yeah, kind of looks like it's been broken before. Put your hand on it so we can estimate the height. What do you think? Well, okay, so that's probably what? 7 feet maybe?
Over, probably a couple inches over.
Huh.
7'3" or something.
Yeah, that in branch has definitely been broken. Almost like it was bent twice to get it to...
Yeah,
That's kind of like that one we found down earlier, isn't it? Yeah, Sasquatch tree. So it looks like it's a Sasquatch tree.
Looks very unique.
I mean, look at the stuff that's been knocked over in here.
I'm sure the storms get pretty nasty up here, but wow.
Maybe that's a Sasquatch mimicking a bird.
He really wants to sing a good tune.
I haven't heard that bird song before.
No, me neither. It's pretty.
Shh. Possessing the most deadly toxin known to mankind, the blue deathberry. It actually turns the victim blue before it kills him. All true. This crazy dog has 2 treats at the same time. He's like a puffin when they have all those fish. All right, so we're just sitting here taking a short break. We've hiked in a mile, like a mile and 7/10. So not quite 2 miles, but more than a mile and a half. All uphill, huh, Ryan?
Oh yeah, it's all uphill.
And we're sitting here, and I happen to look right here in front of me. And check this out. There is a ginormous, I say ginormous, fairly large, looks like a spruce top. None of these trees here are spruce trees. These are all hardwoods. Offhand, I do not see a stump there. That is really bizarre. And I don't see like a giant spruce tree that that would have come from. Like, where did that come from? All right, since we went uphill to get in here, the logic to get out is to simply go downhill and hope to hell we hit the one road in 20 miles of nothing.
I figured that the whole time, really. That it should come to that road, but if it doesn't, it should be close to it.
There must be a bird perched above here that's pooping. Looks like bird poopy, but I don't see an obvious perch. Well, maybe right there. I bet that's like an owl or a hawk or something. It perches there. And then poops right there.